Hey, it is Kelly again. I was just thinking, I want to really kind of explain a few more things about this emotion. Got people honking at me. Because, I don't know, is it safe to drive in video? I don't know. I'm going to get one of those little things so I can place you right here and we can have tons of conversations while I'm driving. So, back to the topic of emotion, right? Well, we talked about what emotion is, so now let's kind of discuss one big thing I like to really break down for people is how trauma, okay, how emotion experienced in trauma can really wreak havoc. It can really bring you down. It can really create some messed up cycles in your life, You keep doing the same thing over and over again. You're wondering why. Well, chances are you have unresolved emotion from trauma. So let me explain to you what happens when we have trauma, okay? So trauma can be any transfer of negative emotion, okay? So this can be as much as someone yelling at you, calling you a really horrible name, or it can be someone hitting you. It can be, any type of negative transfer. Even abuse, sexual, mental, emotional abuse, all is an emotional transfer, okay? Let's say this is how it works. I'm super angry. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so mad. I'm so frustrated. And I don't know what to do with this emotion because I was never taught how to release it. So what do? I hate you. And then now you have a little bit of this emotion because you felt the pain from my emotion and it hurts. H-E-R-T-Z, hurts, okay? Because it's energy, it's frequency, okay? So now, when I transfer this emotion to you, sometimes we can deal with the emotion. Sometimes the emotion is too heavy. Sometimes the emotion is too extreme that we actually cannot process it at that time. So what happens? Our brain actually splits. The brain is magnificent, okay? Yes, the brain splits and it goes into something called cognitive dissonance, where actually your reptilian complex that we talked about, your survival instincts, will come out and it will overtake your heart, your mind, okay? It will take full control of you. And it will be like, you know what? You can survive, but I can't. Let me take the wheel. I remember I had some really, really abusive relationships, okay? Because I grew up in, when you watch your parents go through stuff, that's traumatic. And then when you don't really deal with that trauma, you experience that same trauma. So I almost became like that, okay? I had some really abusive relationship, and my last abusive relationship, it was horrible, man. I never had met someone so sick. He was sick, mentally ill, honestly. He had watched his father beat his mother. It was a whole vicious cycle that started with the family. Not only did they do that, they were just, yeah, man. Okay, so either way, I'll get into that maybe some other time. You guys will know my whole life story if you're interested. Okay, so yes, I remember when my ego, or the ego, the fear, my survival instinct, I remember when it took over completely. I was about 19. I had just experienced my last abusive relationship. And I remember very clearly a little voice coming out and saying, B, you can't handle this. You can't handle this. I'm going to take it from here, okay? You just sit down, cry your little self to sleep, and I will handle it from here. And trust me, no one will ever touch you again. And I'll tell you what, I never, ever, ever have been in an abusive relationship since. No one has ever touched me, but what did happen was I ended up in a good 6-year cycle of just being almost reckless, no logic, just fear driven survival, not really thinking logically, not even really thinking compassionately. I'm a compassionate person, but survival was my main goal, okay? So when you experience trauma, cognitive dissonance will happen. The brain will take over. And this happens because you can't really process this emotion at that time because you just experienced something traumatic. So you have that trauma, then you take in that emotion, and your brain is like, okay, honey, you just sit there for a minute. Let me come out. Let me take control, okay? And that's what it does. It takes control. And what you're supposed to do is at a later date, you're supposed to go back. You have to go back to that traumatic experience, and you actually have to feel that emotion and process it. It's called transmutation, okay? A lot of you want to go to energy healers, and I mean, hey, more power to you, but let me tell you something. You cannot heal your energy without your mind, okay? Your mind is powerful. It controls a lot of things. And if you're just having someone do some magic Reiki hands on you, or, you know, like, sure, it's a temporary fix, but it will not solve your problem. It will not, okay? You need the mind engaged. It's like a form of psychotherapy, but real therapy where you actually, because I'm not even going to get into therapy right now, but, okay? You have to actually go back in, relive, and process these emotions, because let me tell you, you will just be running around crazy, not understanding why you're doing things, not understanding like why you're feeling certain ways, and it's so stressful. It's so, I mean, think about this. Think about that moment of fear. Have you ever felt a surge of fear, right? So like an example would be when you pass a cop speeding, okay? You get this surge of fear, and it's heavy. It's like a shock going right through your body. And you're like, whoa, okay? And afterwards, you're like weak. I don't know about you, but my legs shake. And I'm like, man, that was some intense energy. Now, imagine that feeling all the time on a very subtle level, okay? You're going to be weak. You're going to be fatigued. You're going to be stressed out. You're not going to rest well. You're not going to be well taken care of. You're not going to feel good. You're going to always feel a little crappy, okay? So, like, yeah. Traumatic events and emotion definitely need to be reconciled. There's different ways to do this. If you don't know someone who can help you, I help people with transmutation. It's something that I do because, let me tell you something, emotion is not always easy to go back and process by yourself. So it's nice to have someone who can help you really process that energy. Yes, right? So I help people take in that most heavy energy and help them process, release it, things like that. There's a whole technique to it. So with that said, I also want to just, you know, extend a hand out there. If you guys are having issues and you don't know why you're having problems, you don't know what it's from, you know, you've had a really traumatic life, and you want to find a place, a space to heal from this, reach out, okay? Send me a comment, send me a message. You know, I'll link my Facebook because I don't think I've done that yet. But if anything, you can send me a comment and we can talk about it. I will be glad. I am here to help, okay? I'm not here to hurt. I'm here to help as many people as I can, all right? Whether it's the form of just basic guidance, whether it's the form of actually going and digging deep through your past, digging out that garbage and helping you get rid of it, whatever it is, okay? I'm here for you guys, and that's basically why I'm doing these videos, because I have all this knowledge that I have been gifted through experience, through different levels of consciousness that I've reached, okay? Because when you start expanding your consciousness, you start learning some really crazy things about yourself, about everyone, about people. So, and then with that, you know, it's almost like your responsibility to share that. So other people, we need to raise up ourselves, find our infinite selves, because people, we're lost. We are lost right now. We are lost as a human species. We are so far gone from who we are meant to be, who we truly are, okay? And we need to come back. We need to find our way back. Together. It's the only way. We all want to be separate on our own. I can do this. And I've been that person where I was like, you know, I don't need help. But we do. We all need a helping hand. I wouldn't have managed without my helping hand. So thank you to the people who have handed me a helping hand. I love you guys all so much. So much. I can feel it emanate through me. So, okay. That's going to wrap up this video. If you got trauma, let's deal with it. Let's get that stuff taken care of so you can let go of everything holding you back, so you can become better, stronger, happier. Get the life you deserve. You don't deserve to be stressed out and miserable all the time. You deserve happiness, you guys. The earth is a playground. Let's play. But to play, you have to release all that stuff, okay? All right, you guys, that's it for me. I'm out. Take care, okay?